What's up, guys? One thing I noticed is we love the moves that our athletes make on the court. From the layups to the dunking, or even on the field to the touchdowns. No matter what sport it is, we love all the moves. But have you ever thought about the moves that they make off the court? If you have, you're in the right place. I'm Nafi, and this is Off the Court Moves. Welcome to Season 2 of Off the Court Moves, presented by Indoor Pro. Our dreams is to make your dreams come true. Off the Court Moves is a show that gives athletes a platform to tell their stories about their athletic careers. It gives us the opportunity to understand how it's molded and shaped them into the person they are today. It also allows some athletes to talk about the moves that they are making outside of sports, showing the versatility of the athlete's mind. Our first guest today is Jay Hill.
Let's go.
What's good, man?
Yeah, I wanna see my crew making it big time.
You can take a seat right here.
I wanna see my bitch live on her best life. I got little brothers.
And so, how you feeling? How was your day?
Pretty good, man. You know, got to it, had online classes, worked out, had weights and stuff like that. So just another day, really. But it was good, yeah. Good.
Taking it one day at a time. Huh?
Yeah, you gotta stack them. So
Yeah. So you kind of hinted on it, and we'll start from your beginnings. Jay Hill, you are an athlete. You currently play at Anderson University.
Right.
And I'll let you talk a little bit more about how that came about and how you got to the University of Anderson.
okay, so yeah, I played basketball pretty much like my whole life. You know, since I was 5, my dad put a ball in my hand. We would always go outside in the backyard and work out. You know, we didn't have concrete or anything back there, but we had grass and we had a hoop, so it was always hard to dribble. But we would go back there and work on skills, shooting, wake up early in the morning, shoot, practice dribbling and all that good stuff. And then, you know, I started playing organized ball at the age of 5. So I played rec. And when I first started rec, I was killing because, you know, I was being 5, working out, that's a lot. You know, it's not a lot of 5-year-olds that's just working out like that, especially with their pops and stuff like that. So I was killing in rec ball, you know, having big games. My pops tried to get me moved up to a higher age group or whatever, but they wouldn't do it. So I kept playing rec ball, and this guy named Coach Burt actually saw one of my games in rec, just decided to come one day. And he was starting up a travel team for AAU basketball. And he saw my game and was like, I want you to come play with me. So from there, I started playing AAU basketball in the state of Georgia. And you know, like Georgia basketball is super serious and big time. So I got to meet a bunch of people, got to play in a lot of tournaments from like all the way from 5 all the way to my senior year in high school. And build a lot of relationships and get, you know, a little name in Georgia for basketball and stuff like that. So from there, I went to Central Gwinnett High School in Lawrenceville, Georgia. I played varsity my sophomore, junior, and senior year. My junior year is kind of when I like broke out a little bit, started doing real good. We went to state. And my senior year, I had like a really amazing year. Had a lot of coaches on me, recruiting me and stuff like that. I had a bunch of like high-level games. Like I think my highest scoring game I had my senior year was 43. So yeah, I had 43.
Our guests might not know how difficult that is to do.
No, it is, especially in Georgia. So
were you the star? Were you like the number 1 option on the team?
Oh yeah, definitely. At that school, at my high school at that time, yeah, definitely number 1. So.
And I want to speak on that a little bit because when being the number 1 option on your school team or travel ball team, people might not understand that it comes with a level of responsibility and maturity that carries, no pun intended, off the court as well. Because you have to hold yourself to a higher standard than your classmates, you know, or your cousins or your friends.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about how you felt about being the guy.
Like being the guy, I mean, especially in high school, everybody's basically always had their eyes on you. Anything that you're doing, no matter if you're at school, if you're in the gym, during the game, or if you're just somewhere in the community, everybody's looking at you. That could be from little kids, adults, people in the community, it doesn't matter. So you always got to hold your standard to a high standard. And my parents installed that in me from when I was a kid So
It sounds like you have a great support system.
yeah, most definitely. Like it, not even just my parents, just my family in general. You know, they showed me the right way to live, the right way to treat people and stuff like that. So once I got to that point where I was getting, accolades and was getting kind of some fame in the high school area and in my community, I kind of was already like built for it. So it was kind of natural, just to treat people and act a certain way.
So now fast forward to Anderson University. How long have you been playing there?
I've been at Anderson for 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it like? And for our guests that don't know, Anderson is located in South Carolina,
Right.
Near Clemson. So going towards Georgia. It is a great school,
Right.
One of the best here in South Carolina.
Right.
So what is that like playing that level of basketball at Anderson in the competition?
It's really intense. Like the league that we play in the South Atlantic Conference. So it's one of the best D2 leagues in the South, really in the nation. So every time you play a conference game, it's a dogfight.
Yeah.
Like anybody could get beat really any day, no matter what the seeding is, how many games you won all year, doesn't matter. Like it's a really tough conference with really good players. Like a lot of players don't stay in the conference. A lot of them transfer out, like, and go to D1s and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that just tells you how competitive it is and what type of talent is in the conference. And Anderson is a great school, especially for athletics. Athletics is definitely on the rise. Like we're getting a football team here soon.
Yes.
So
yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and that's big time. Like they're building new facilities and building new things for all of that. So it really just goes hand in hand with the conference also. Like the conference, when you go around, all the schools are just really big time, big gyms, good atmosphere, especially games. So that's why Anderson really fits in with the SAC. So
is that why you chose to go to?
most definitely, yeah, most definitely. I knew, like once I knew I was going to that level and I wanted to play for that level, I knew I wanted to play somewhere where I was going to be competitive and I was going to be able to get better, and Anderson was definitely the best place, especially community-wise, school-wise. It just had everything, had the full package.
So for you to have an off-the-court move, which I don't want to get into quite yet, but just talk to me about the beginnings and how you started to develop an off-the-court move, because as an athlete, it's not easy to focus on sports
Right.
and other endeavors.
I just really, to be honest, like, athletes, we don't have a lot of time. Like, people know that. Like, we don't have a lot of time, but we also do have a good bit of time to do other things. It just depends on what you use that time to do it in. So I've always been a guy that's always, like, anything came my way, like, anything good, I've always strived to, like, go at it, if it was going to help me or if it was going to help somebody else. So many of the off-the-court moves I would say that I've had that came at me, it was like opportunities I couldn't just pass down, because it was things I was either good at or it was things that was going to better my life. So
Wow.
I really found time for it, but I also made sure my priority was still basketball,
So you took out the time to, it's like a strategic partnership.
Yeah.
Like not only did you take out the time to do something off the court, you took out the time to make sure it was right for you.
Most definitely, yeah, most
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, that's real. So let's get into some of those off the court moves. I got a chance to talk to you, before the interview, and it was just some of the things that you do. It amazed me. Speaking about just the time,
Right.
because I don't want to spoil it, but I want to spoil a little bit. You have your own business
Right.
as an athlete. That's amazing, bro. So take us to the beginning and how that kind of started for you, like the beginning process.
Okay, so like how it came along, basically, COVID hit. I can't remember. It's probably about 3 or 2 years ago. COVID hit real hard, and we got sent home from school. All right, so we all got sent home earlier than when we were supposed to. And just sitting at home, not doing nothing, gyms closed, can't go nowhere. Like, there's really nothing else you could do but be on social media or watch TV all the time or just do something around the house, So I definitely was still, like, I've always been a type, like, I've always liked to have money, like have my own money. So when I was started to think, like I've always been into like wearing older shirts, because like my grandparents were big T-shirt collectors. Living in Atlanta, they got to see the Olympics. They got to see the Hawks when they were booming. They got to see the Falcons when they made it to the Super Bowl. Like they got to see a lot of things in Atlanta. So every time it was a big event in Atlanta, like concerts and stuff like that, they made sure to get a T-shirt. So like every time I would go to the house, my grandma would just be lounging around wearing different big T-shirts and stuff like that. My granddad would have like the coolest jackets. Like he'll have the Alabama, old school Alabama starter jackets.
And this
with
is
the
like
old,
naturally vintage, because they were in that during that time.
Right. So like at that time for them, it wasn't vintage. But like for me, it's like, you know, I know what the Alabama logo looks like now. But like that Alabama logo is sick, you know?
Yeah.
So that kind of got me like, man, like I'm really into this stuff. So I used to wear it, rock it and stuff like that. Then I just started meeting people that were into it too. Mm-hmm. And then I got into the part where I was like getting some of my stuff and I was trying to sell it, you know, to some of these stores that sell vintage and that do certain things like that sell vintage and that have markets and stuff like that.
So before you decided to sell it to the public, you wanted to sell it to
stores. Yeah.
Okay, this is getting good. This is getting good. So I'm actually going to use this to actually take a quick break before we really hop into it.
Okay.
So let's take a quick break and give a shout out to Endure Pro. Our vision is to construct a platform that allows one to share their stories, talents, and gifts with the world. We want to motivate and inspire people to chase their dreams and to show them that growth is the product of endeavoring. Endure Prosperity wants to restore peace, harmony, and happiness and love into the hearts of individuals, families, and the world throughout entertainment and more. All right, so we're back with Jay Hill. So, Jay, you were just telling me that the way that you first started your business wasn't the typical normal, you know, transition into starting a business. You actually tried to market your product with stores first. Right. So, you know, hop back into that and tell us a little bit about that.
So like I was saying, like I had a bunch of stuff that I had started collecting, you know, was wearing it and stuff like that. But then I came across stuff that I didn't want, you know, that couldn't fit me and stuff like that. So I was like, man, maybe I should try to sell it to the stores that, you know, sell vintage and buy and sell and trade and stuff like that. And then I would try to sell to them and stuff. And like the prices that they were giving me was just like so low, like from what I was looking them up to see what they were worth and stuff like that. So I was like, man, if they could buy it from me for this and then flip it for what they're flipping it for, I might as well try it myself. So I started trying it. I built my first Instagram. Then I came, like one day I was at the house just chilling and I was like, man, what should I call the name of it? I was like, everybody call me Jay Hill. I go to Plato's Closet a lot too. So I was like, man, let me try to connect that. So I was like, Jay Hill's Vintage Closet. And when I first started off, you know, I only had probably like 1 or 2 people that would buy from me. So it wasn't like nothing too crazy, you know. I was getting a lot of people that was saying like, oh, your clothes are too wrinkled when you're posting pictures. Why are you selling old clothes? Like, you know, stuff like that. Like people wasn't really rocking with it all the way.
That's crazy. They were hating on you.
They were hating on it a little bit. But then I just started, you know, learning and gaining gems from people that I met when I would go to markets and just people I would run across and stuff like that. And I just got better and better through the years. And like now I can say like consistent clientele. Whenever we have markets, we do very well. Pop-ups, all that good stuff. Like we do very well. So the brand went, it's expanded a lot.
Consistency.
So, consistency, yes, definitely.
Can you talk more about consistency for like the younger viewers or someone that might be looking to start their own business and how important that is?
I mean, consistency, like anything you do and put your mind to, like you definitely have to have consistency. That's if you're an athlete, you got to be consistent with your workouts. You got to be consistent with what you eat, what you put in your body, your knowledge of the game. Like you have to be consistent with that or you're going to fall off. Consistency when it comes to business is the same way. Like if you're not consistent with your customers, if they hitting you up like, hey, Jay Hill, I got something going on this weekend. I need a shirt. And you're not being consistent responding or you're not being consistent with giving them the product that they need or the shirts that they need, they're probably gonna find somebody else, because it's not gonna always just be you that does that one thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So staying consistent is probably the best thing you could do in life.
That's amazing,
with
man.
anything.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you seem like such a great example for someone that's inspiring to do that, to listen to.
Most definitely.
So I'll allow this opportunity for you to tell us what's your Instagram and where one could find you.
Okay, yeah, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me at JHills Vintage Closet. So it's JHills, JHILLS _ vintage, and then _ closet. It should be a blue logo. And then it's like a character, a cartoon character, kind of that looks like me. So it shouldn't be that hard to find. But you can find me on there, and then I post occasionally and try to post a lot. And you could just DM me and follow me and just keep up.
So Jay, what's the next 5 years or 10 years, or like what's in it next for you? Like, what's the plan for you? Where are you taking it?
So like, I think about that every day, man, because it's like you getting to the point, it's like it's about to come soon.
Yeah, because people are requesting.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's here.
Yeah, it's about to come soon. Like, I'm playing my last year of college basketball, so I don't have no more college in me. Other than if it's gonna be, some more grad school online or so. So the real world is about to hit. So what I'm thinking is, like, for the next 5 years, like after this season, I want to have a really good season with my teammates and my team. Like, I want to do something big that we haven't done at Anderson University in a long time. Like, we want to win a SAC championship. We want to go to the Natty. We want to do all that, and I feel like if we do that as a team and collectively and love on each other, everybody is going to have good accomplishments from it. And especially me being one of the older guys, it's going to be my last year. I feel like if we have a great year and I have a great year with my team, I could definitely get a contract and go overseas and play for a couple years. So I'm hoping to do that, and I'm working every day to get to there to do that. And then once I'm done doing that, I got my degree in secondary social studies education. That's what my bachelor's was in. So I want to come back, hopefully go back to my city, teach, and coach at the same time.
Yeah,
so
I can see all that.
Yeah.
Whichever route or all routes.
Most definitely.
You have the size of a pro. You have that maturity and attitude of a pro. And I'm rooting for you, Endor's rooting for you to achieve those achievements this season with the team, and then just in life off the court as well, whether that's you teaching. I know the brand will just continue to grow with your consistency. So we want to transfer that energy over to you going into basketball season. It's already October, so I know it's right on the horizon.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, and we also, from Endor, want to gift you with a gift today. Speaking of basketball, you've officially been drafted
okay.
into the Endor family, man. So
appreciate it.
Hill, man.
Oh, yeah, so this is tough.
That's all you, man.
This is
to
tough.
go with
I
some
like
of the
this.
vintage tees.
Man,
like I said, we
sure.
wish you luck on the season and everything you have going. So
appreciate it.
Well, that's it for this show. But before we go, I would like to shout out the Dreamers Expo, a networking event that will be coming to Greenville, South Carolina in 2023. Entrepreneurs, entertainers, creators. No matter who you are, if you have a dream, this event will pretty much basically be for you. Be on the lookout for more information soon. We'll see you soon, guys, on the next episode of Off the Court Moves. So keep striving, keep persevering, and keep enduring. Appreciate it, Jay Hill.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I wanna see my crew making it big time. Yeah, I wanna see my bitch living her best life. I got little brothers and they stay calling me bitch. Like, you don't need no La record FBG to them. Yeah, turn me up in the club at least one time. Tell her make it clap, throw it back for me one time. Yeah. I'm finna talk my shit a little bit. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, turn up for me, baby, at least one time. Yeah, get loose in this bitch for me, baby, one time. I'ma make it rain for you,